Is it audible? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Is it audible?
Yes, sir. Audible. Good morning.
So today we'll discuss with the Pcp-IP. So particularly it is a model. So in the networking, the remaining part, the TCP/IP protocol suite. So it is a model which is responsible for the data communication. So this is the what the derived model, that is the one referenced model present, but practically we will use this model. So overall this model consists with the four layers. So first is the network layer. So network layer, it is the lowest layer, so which is responsible for the physical transmission of the data. Network layer, which is responsible for physical transmission of data. So TCP/IP does not define any protocol, but supports all standard protocols. Because the network layers, particularly, that is the all standard protocols are generally used. All standard protocols are used because every layer having the roles and responsibility, whether the physical transmission is possible, like the suppose the cable types, so medium types, hardware components, all those things. So that is the network work of the network layer. Next is the internet layer. Internet layer, it it defines the protocols for the logical transmission of the data. Logical transmission of the data over the network. Logical logical transmission of the data. So that is the this is the overall consists of the physical transmission of the data. This is logical transmission of data. Logical transmission of data, particularly you think it between the node, because the computing device in a network is very high. So large number of computing devices present. So in that case, we have to know the logic through which the data will transmit. So on that case, physical it is okay because source to destination, that is okay. But on which logic it will travel, that is important. In between Bhubaneswar to Kolkata, so source is Bhubaneswar, destination is Kolkata, but in between that we have to travel through the different routes. So that is important. Similarly, here that when the data will transmit, so it will also deal with the logical transmissions, because if it departs from the x, then when in which route it will travel. So that is important. It will determine, and that is the all works are done through the internet protocols. So for that purpose, it needs with the internet protocol. So internet protocols, so different types of protocols here it is used. So address resolution protocol, reverse address resolution protocol, ICMP, large number of protocols are used. Just remember it. Next, that is our transport layer. So, transport layer, this layer is responsible for end-to-end delivery. That means the transmission transport layer is the end-to-end delivery system. End-to-end delivery. End-to-end delivery. End-to-end delivery. End-to-end delivery means what? One from where one system is the source, one system is the destination. In the destination side, there are lots of processes are going on. So because you just imagine now, if we will work with the mobile, so or we are talking with the mobile, at that time messages are coming also. That means what? Two different processes are simultaneously working. So the messages are automatically delivered. It is not waiting when our talk will be over. No, not at all. So for the same thing, end to end, on which process your packet will be dropped. So that is the end to end delivery. So that is the responsibility of the transport layer. So it deals with TCP and the UDP protocol. Transmission TCP and the UDP. Transmission control protocol and user datagram protocol. User datagram protocol and transmission control protocol. And last one is the application layer. Last one that is application layer. So application layer. So this is the top layer which defines the high level protocols. High level protocols. So this defines the high level protocols and for the services of the transport layer, process delivered applications. So application layer absolutely deals with the who are the users. So either human being or softwares. So that is the work of the application layer because the already delivered work is done, data is reached, but application layer so the will be helpful to deliver it. So that is why. So this is the topmost layer and defines the host programs with the transport layer services. What we will do, so that is the application work of the application layer. Application layer, either human beings or softwares are to be used. So this also needs high level protocols like DNS, HTTP. You are used to HTTP. So these are the application layer because through software browsers we have to access. So HTTP, SMTP, simple mail transfer protocol. These are the protocols. So that is why what we have studied now. It consists with four layers. Four layers responsible for data communication. If packet comes from one source and its destination, in between that, large number of intermediate nodes are present. So to cover all those distances or all those nodes, we have to pass through each node associates with these four layers so that work will be done in the because the node 1, node 2, node 3, that means computer 1, computer 2, computer 3 up to the last computer, it must process with the four layers. So how the work should be done different through the protocols. Network layer protocol, transparent layer protocol, transport layer protocol, application layer protocol. So that's the protocols earlier we have discussed, set of rules and regulations that govern data communications. So that is why protocols are required. So large number of protocols will be helpful to for the data communication because the protocols is the major crucial role in data communication. This is TCP/IP protocol suite. So usually it is a long question, so I will share the tomorrow one note. So I will do it. So next we will discuss. This is the unit third. So overall unit networking part is over. So next come to the part last unit, that is our database management system. Is it clear or any doubts you can ask? What is the database management system? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Sir, actually,
Any question?
sir, what kind of question we can expect from this unit, sir?
No question, I think. Okay. So let's study the fourth module. So what it includes. So that is the database management system, levels of data abstraction, types of database, data models, Pcp-Mis functions, benefits, designing of database, data mapping, security issues, okay. Types of database, data models. So first is the okay, no doubts. So come to the part database management system. So database management system, we have to need at least one database management system. So what is the database? What is management system? Two terms. One is database. One is management system. Database is the collection of interrelated data. Collection of interrelated data. That is important because interrelated terms should be used. Any types of data will not keep, store or retrieve. All those works not to be done. Interrelated data. Interrelated means what? So means whatever the student, so that related data will keep. Student roll number associated with the telephone number, marks, age, so like that, course details, results, all are considered as related data. So that is a DBMS is the database is a collection of interrelated data. Management system refers to the set of programs which will work with that. So retrieval purpose to manage and organize data in structured manner. Manage and organize So these are the definitions of the two terms, or the if it will be one term, it is a software that is designed to manage and organize data in structured manner. So structured manner always refers to the data in tabular. Okay. Data is structured means tabular manner. Remember it. Data is unstructured, not tabular. There is a structure, there is unstructured, there is semi-structured. Now, the majority of the big data cases are unstructured, different formats that are present. So, but we have to also work with the unstructured case. But DBMS is the structured case. Manage and organize the data in structured manner. Manage and organize the data in structured manner. That is the work of the DBMS. But that might be other types of the data, unstructured data, semi-structured data. So different types of data is present. But DBMS, so collection of interrelated data, and a software that is managed and organized the data in structured manner. So what are the features of the DBMS? Basic features, try to remember. So features of DBMS. Important features, data models. So different types of data model. Different types of tools are present. How to create and modifying the entire model, which is define structure along with their relationship. Structure plus their relationships. Structure and relationships. Data model is a suppose there is a model entity relationship model. Entity relationship data model. So here diagram will define entire structure. The data consists with this. Data comes from this student data. Student is considered as entity, and the student attributes as having these attributes. So it will represent, and where the relationship of those attributes present in the entire system are to be also shown. So that is different data models will be helpful because the different tools are already present. So we have to take the help of the tools to define entire structure as well as the relationship. Relationship is most important because the one attribute will be common. Suppose unique value, so student registration number. So that registration number will be automatically used in different places. So we have to identify on the which area, which domain it is used. That means it is related because it is the student registration number is attached to the placement. Student registration number is attached to the results. Student registration number attached to the library. So on that case, what we learn? We have to find the relationship. So relationship with the entire structure is required. For that purpose, we need the data modeling tools. Next is the data storage and retrieval. Data storage and retrieval most important because we want to store the data because the database in Excel you are working with the data for the timing we are keeping, but usually in the DBMS cases that will remain forever also. So storing the data, so is a because the Oracle, Sybase, Informix, DB2 are example of the DBMS. Oracle is the software, Sybase is the software, Informix, DB2. These are the software. MySQL also open source, but Oracle is widely used software. So we have to use the softwares to store the data and also work with those data because data is stored. Registration number is allowed for all students, but after the examinations, we have to retrieve what results are secured by the students. So in that case, so we have to retrieve the values. What are the values present here? So we have to retrieve it. So that is your data storage and the retrieval. That is another important features of DBMS. So we have to store. So because we have to enter those values. What are the marks required by the students? Then students will retrieve those values. They can check it. So major work storing the data is one work and working with those data is also another work. So retrieval, updations, sometimes that happen. So we have to update the value. First attempt you have failed, suppose in a subject. The next attempt you have passed. That means we have to update that one. Previously one value present, but we have to substitute with another value. So that is the data updations. It is for us updating the value. You have one mobile number, you want to change it. So in that case, what will happen? We have to update the value. All remaining values will remain same, but only this value will to be updated. So that is the another case, data storage and retrieval. Next, concurrency control. Next is the concurrency control. So concurrency control is the most important part because DBMS deals with the transactions. So transaction in suppose the bank database, SBI bank having the customers. I think SBI having the largest number of customers in our country, around 30 crores accounts. All are operating. That means what? Daily, suppose 1 crore account is operating. Operate transaction means any changes, either withdrawal of the money or deposit of the money. Both are the transaction. But what to be done? If you are withdrawing the money, you have to withdraw it completely. In the between the intermediate steps, you have not withdrawn money means it is a failure. It is not a transaction. So concurrent control. How the concurrent execution at a particular time, large number of transactions. That means student level works. We are viewing your database. Others are also viewing it. Bank cases, X customer is using, Y customer also using, but they are accessing same database. So that is why the concurrency control will helpful to manage all those type of transactions at a particular time. Most importantly, because concurrency control, that is the major important thing. Controlling concurrent access to the databases to ensure that multiple users can access data without conflict. Because the database is fixed. Database is fixed. Here, the database is fixed. Multiple users will access it. Multiple users will access it. So, without conflict, no conflict. Because usually, when the multiple users access the common resources, uses the common resources, at that time the problem comes, but no problem. No confliction at all. Because the mechanism behind it will work it perfectly. So that's the reason. So there is a concurrency control accessing by the multiple users without conflicting with each other. In technical terms, how the transactions are concurrently executed, we have to know. Particularly, what are the two things it is doing? One is the reading the database, another is the writing the database. You are withdrawing the money, what does it means? The usually first sentence it comes in your yes, your balance, your account having this much amount of money. Withdrawing, so automatically deducted. 500 deducted. So remaining is this. It is also doing. So that is the examples. Similarly, it is done by the large number of customers. So particular cases, that means what? It deals with the read-write operations of the database. Explicitly, we have to also derive it because the problem when comes failed transactions. The any cases, erroneous cases will come, means again we have to refer to that part. So there is also log file. So different types of log files are present. Suppose your ATM crashed, because you're giving an example. Suppose the ATM crashed, you have withdrawing the money because right operations to be done. Right operations to be done because 500 deducted means 500 should be reduced from your account. So at that time, because it needs time from your ATM machines to your database, because that is the time. That time may be maybe fraction of second, but immediately money comes and software failed, because there are some cases where software may fail, earthquake may occur. There are very rare cases, but on that case, what will happen? You will not be benefited because at that time system corrupted. It's okay, but internally, what are the operations going on? There is a log file, so which will record log file which record entire operation details. So the software crashed, software crashed. So when it will be reinstalled, so automatically log file gives the what are the previously done transaction into the software. So that's why the software will automatically update. So there are many more things because the transaction and the concurrency control is itself is a one unit. But this is the gist. You have to remember the concurrency control. Next, data integrity and security. So data integrity and security. Data integrity, security. Data integrity means integrity security means it is having the tools for forcing for the data integrity. So forcing the data integrity particularly refers, suppose giving example, if you will secure more than 30, then you will be passed, so that value will be entered. Below 30 it will not be entered. That is the rule. That is the rule. Integrity should be maintained. So in that case, only the results of past students it has. So integrity to be maintained. Similarly, that is in technical term, that is the constraints. Constraints, domain entity integrity, referential integrity. So different integrity types, constraints we will use. So that is the case of the data integrity and security also. That security, because already we have discussed, large number of users will use because they are authorized users to access the database. So security should be maintained. No leakage of information, no harmfuls to the entire database. Large number of security features, security-based algorithms, security-based techniques are used to protect the stored data. So that is the data integrity and security. Another is backup and recovery. Always backup recovery, because there are in DBMS three categories of users. If you deal, so one is the database developer, one is the database administrator, and final one is the database user. But database developer, they will store, collect, retrieve all those works for the database developer. But database administrator, it will administrate currently who are working. So what problems they will face. So that is the what solution they have to provide. So that is the work of the database administrator. But another most important work of the administrator also, backup and recovery. Data is stored in multiple positions. So like I give an example, log file. Log file is also another place where the data information available. So that is what it will be recovered from the log files. So in the architectures of the database, so there are different files which is responsible to store the data. In case of loss of the information, so we can easily recover from those files so that we can easily get it. So that is the most important case, because the recovery and backup always to be remain. Backup recovery, DBMS provides mechanisms for backup and recovery. If system failure, some cases it system crashes. I think in your entire lifetime, so till now, how many transactions you have done, you have never faced the system failure, system crashes, or that entire database failure, no. Because that the technique is mechanism is strong, but there are the options. If it fail, I have done large number of transactions, but till now I have not faced the system failure. But there might be the failure of the system. So that is why in the multiple positions, internal architecture supports, the mechanism supports to store the data. So that is why easily we can recover. If data is stored as backup, that is considered as backup, then we can easily recover it. So that is the backup and recovery. So overall, DBMS this is the overall features. So DBMS now, it is the RDBMS. So type of DBMS, so that is the RDBMS. RDBMS stands for relational RDBMS stands for Relational Database Management System. Relational Database Management System means relational. Now, another term is used, relational. Another term is used, relational. Relational because database management system, database collection of interrelated data. So, relational will tell in the form of tables, rows and columns. If any stored data in the form of rows and columns is considered as relational database. Really, there are 12 principles given by great scientist E.F. Gord. He's a great scientist in the field of database. He has given 12 principles. If those database obeys 12 principles, then it is considered a relational database. But in simply you remember, so if a database is in the form of tables, then it is considered as relational database, RDBMS. All remains are the non-RDBMS. Because only in the tabular structure data may not be stored, we can also store in the different other types. But relational type, so next it comes to the object relational. ORDBMS, object relational. The types of database, that is the ORDBMS, object relational database management system. Object relational database management system means relational means this remains, table remains, but objects concept will be added. This object concept will be added in the RDBMS. So object concepts is the what object oriented generation now. One particular example I am giving, suppose we want to store one address. So because storing one registration number, one value we are entering, but address, we cannot enter one value because we have to enter the multiple values that will reflect our address. So in that case, what will happen? It will consist with the different other types of values. Flat number, street address, entire state name, city name, district name, country name, pin number. So it will generally it will not store in one field because we are writing if you will write address, so it will not reflect all those things because you cannot write it. So we have to consider it as object type. Object type means so we can give different values. So object-oriented generation nowadays, programming is object-oriented, database is object-oriented. So the system is also object-oriented, where repetitions and reusability, extensibility are the major advantages of object-oriented programs. So we can easily extend it, we can reuse it once we have developed the logic for address. So these are the parameters to be remained. So for lakhs of students, for crores of the employees, so we can easily use same and same again and again. So that is the case. So nowadays the database is object-oriented database. Prior to that, what are the different types of DBMS? So before to that, we have to focus on the types of DBMS. How the DBMS system developed. So that is the case. So first computerized way. So types of DBMS. So first computerized way of the storing the data is the file management system. First computerized way of storing data, that is file management system. Usually the system we are using now, that is the ORDBMS, Object Relational Database Management System. But now, just how the system has come. Every system what we are using now not come from one day. Changing due to the demerits of existing system. Next generation another system will come. Due to the demerits, we are using object relational database management system now. It has some demerits, disadvantage. So next generation the database will be modified. So that system name will be another one. So like this, but previous systems before DBMS. So the previous system, what the types of DBMS till the evolution of DBMS will discuss. File management system, FMS. File management system is the first computerized way of storing data. File management system. Generally file refers to what? file, we are storing it sequentially. We are store 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We are storing the data sequential. We are storing the data sequential. So there is a file. Because in the file, general file, we are storing it first file, second file, third file. Similarly, the value is stored sequential. The problem will come. Suppose I will I need the sixth number. What does it mean? First number, second number, third, fourth, fifth. Then I will enter sixth. If the number of records is less, it is okay to find an value. Because storing and retrieving, what characteristics tells? It tells storing and retrieving. Only storing not is enough. Because we are storing for the working purpose. If we store as well as retrieve, then our application will be fulfilled. So that is why on this case, if we retrieve 5, it is okay. If it is the number is 1 crore, then what will happen? So 1, 2, 3, 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh, 4 lakh, like that, it will go because 1 by 1, 1 by 1, 1 by 1. When the large number of data are stored in a file, it is impossible to retrieve because it will be a tedious process. It will be a tedious process. So on that case, so lots of time will be spent. So that is why the structure changed. The structure again modified and changed. So that is referred as hierarchical database. HDS. Hierarchical database system. Now problem is where? Problem is on the search retrieval time. Problem is in the retrieval time. When you retrieve, that is the problem. But now hierarchical database system will make the process easier. It is better than the file management system, how I am telling, but it is not also good enough. Hierarchical database system. Suppose now you think about your university. University hierarchy. What hierarchy? One administration level, one the student level. Administrative level, director, sir, madam, president. Then teaching staff, non-teaching staff. So what does it mean? So, so administrators and staffs, you may make it one, or you can make any levels for your students. The hierarchical structure you have to prepare. So under this, suppose directors are non-teaching and teaching. So under teaching, assistant professors, professors, associate professors remain. Students, different division MCA, MBA, so BBA, whatever may be. So what does it will helpful when we have to search for a student. Here all the records we have to pass, but here one person we will skip. If we will search for a student, we will not pass the administration details. What the administrator will straight come to the student. Again, on the student, we know on which course he or she studied. So in that case, MBA. So MBA will focus. MBA will focus on MCA. Other courses will come. What does it mean? Again, another set of records will be deleted because more than 50% records will always be cut, so that we can easily get it the student. But fact is, again, it is also problem because it is better than this. It is better than this, but it has also problem because it also searching the large number of records because from that category also many records present. So again, it you have to search sequential. That is one problem. And another problem, we cannot insert any new field inside the higher levels. So maybe changes, that may be problem. But it is better than the previous file management system. After that, network-based database system comes. Network-based database system comes. So which is helpful. So in the network-wise, it is also storing the data. So that is also problem not appropriate and inserting data in the different locations also a problem. So finally, the next is the DBMS comes, so which in the form of relational. So then That is the DBMS. RDBMS, then object relational ORDBMS comes. So this is the overall types of data management system we are associated with. Getting clear? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
ସାର୍ ଶୁଣିପାରୁଛନ୍ତି ତ ଆମକୁ?
ଶୁଣି ପାରୁନାହାନ୍ତି? Hello, sir.
Any questions? Because this may be new. If you have not understands any words or sentence, you may ask. So because this
Hello?
is a unit, so tomorrow I will conclude this unit as per the syllabus unit wise, what it contains. So we will discuss. But this is the basic parts of the DBMS. Getting clear or in doubt?
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Okay. So okay. So tomorrow we'll discuss the remaining part, and I will also share some materials to you on the unit wise. So today I will prepare it. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Sure. You will ask too, huh? Yes. Sir.
ତୁ ଗାଧେଇବୁ ହଁ ଏଇଟା କଣ ନୂଆ ପ୍ୟାଣ୍ଟ ତୋର ଏଇଟା ନୂଆ ପ୍ୟାଣ୍ଟ ତ ହଁ ତାହେଲେ ପ୍ୟାଣ୍ଟ ଟି-ସାର୍ଟ ସବୁ ପିନ୍ଧିବୁ
Please mute yourself.
ये कौन वे
Good morning, sir.
A very good morning to all of you.
Good morning, sir. Sir, କାଲି ଆମର last class ଏଇଟା. Sir, question ଟିକେ ଦେବେ?
Good morning to all of you.
Good morning, sir.
Things are very not audible. So today we'll start with your fourth unit. We'll continue with your fourth unit, which we have discussed in the last class. And as we have completed the banking portion of the fourth unit, today we'll discuss about the insurance aspects, which is there in the fourth unit. And basically, the fourth unit covers the insurance agency. So agents, as you know, basically are the persons who work on behalf of their master. Or you can say agents in insurance basically are considered to be the interface between the customers and the companies. And it is the agents through which the insurance companies generally want to approach the prospective customers. So the role of agents in the business of insurance is considered to be immense, in the sense that it is the agents who ultimately will have to facilitate the business of insurance by way of approaching the public directly. So we need to know about who are considered to be the insurance agents. What is the qualification criteria for becoming an insurance agent? What are the selection procedure of insurance agents? What are the rights and duties of insurance agents? And what are the code of conduct which is applicable in case of insurance agents? So first of all, as we have already pointed out while discussing the role of development officers,